every day since my incarceration, as difficult as my circumstances currently are, I've made the best of my time by reading books, writing, working out, or in therapy, obtaining the tools and knowledge to deal with my past drug abuse and anger issues. I have been putting in the work and working diligently to become the best version of myself to ensure that I never make the same mistake again. I realize that I'm in a situation where no amount of money, power, or fame can save me. Only God can save me. My grandmother used to teach me that God makes no mistake and that everything he does is for your good. I believe that a bad situation can be used for good. Although this situation has been the hardest and darkest time in my life, good things have come out of my incarceration. For starters, I'm now sober for the first time in 25 years. I'll give him a hand clap for that. I will give him a hand clap for that because he is sober. He is sober. Okay? I've been trying my best to deal with my drug abuse and anger issues and take accountability as well as positive steps towards healing. One of the most beautiful things I have experienced is being asked by my fellow inmates. Hold on. I didn't mean to do that. By my fellow inmates to teach and mentor them. They want to learn what I did to become a successful businessman. I was inspired by their hunger and desire to learn information in order to not only set goals, but achieve any goal/dream that their hearts desire. I started teaching a 6-week program called Free Game, title given by my fellow inmates, which I was able to have approved and sanctioned by the BOP. I didn't just teach about my success. I don't just teach about my success. I also teach about my mistakes and failures. It has truly been a blessing to do something positive in a negative situation. It has been beautiful to see the newfound hope in my fellow inmates' eyes. The most shocking thing was to see the unity and the peace this class has produced. As you're probably aware, jails and prisons are segregated places. However, in our class, we have Black, Spanish, white, and Asian all together in one room, learning and working together. We even have an interpreter for the Spanish-speaking inmates. The biggest miracle that I've seen with this class is all of the gangs such as Bloods, Crips, MS-13s, Torettos, and 18th Streets in one room working together. I'm also proud to say that me in my time of need and despair, that since this class started, there have been no fights in our unit. This class has also helped me in my time of need and despair. Being able to do something good for others has also given me much needed hope. God blessed me with this opportunity to help others, and I will continue to do so. I ask you for mercy today, not only for my sake, but for the sake of my children. God blessed me with 7 beautiful children, 3 sons, 4 daughters. Their names are Quincy, Justin, Kristen, Chase, Jesse, Delilah, and the newest addition, a 2-year-old daughter, Love. 4 of my children lost their mother, Kim Porter, as she tragically passed away in 2018. I'm their only parent. I have failed my children as a father. My father was murdered when I was 3 years old, so I know firsthand what it is to not have a father. More than anything, I just want the opportunity to return home and be the father that they need. Hold on. And deserve. God also blessed me with the greatest mother in the world. My mother sacrificed her life and dreams to provide for me and my younger sister, Keisha. She worked 3 jobs to make sure we had a roof over our heads, clothes on our backs, and the best education. My mother is now 84 years old, and she recently had brain surgery. Despite her own health challenges, she attended my trial every day. I have always been her primary caregiver. It breaks my heart that I put myself in this situation, and for the first time, I'm unable to be there for my mother when she needs me most. As I write you this letter, I'm scared to death, scared to spend another second away from my mother and my children. I no longer care about the money or fame. There is nothing more important to me than my family. I understand that one factor the court has to consider is deterrence. Deterrence for me and for others to ensure that no one follows in my footsteps and makes the same mistake. For over a year, I have been locked in one room with 25 other incarcerated people, sharing the same one room. In this room that I share, there are no windows, there is no natural/clean air, there is no sunlight, and we all live in one room. We eat, sleep, use the toilet, take showers, and prepare meals all in the same room. The conditions at my action, the conditions that my actions have placed me in are inhumane. I don't tell you this for pity or sympathy. I'm simply sharing my truth and the truth of my fellow incarcerated people. We have no clean drinking water, and we boil our drinking water. We all share one washing machine, which is broken. I'm surrounded by drugs and live every day in the constant threat of being stabbed or losing my life. Again, I'm not expecting pity or sympathy, but my time at MDC has changed me forever. Prior to being in jail, I took care of and was present for my family. Being in jail and because of my conduct, I have lost the ability to care for my mother. I lost the ability to effectively raise and support my children. I have missed my 3 daughters' proms and graduations. I have missed taking one of my daughters to college. I have lost the freedom to teach my 2-year-old how to speak, dance, play, or be there to console her when she falls down or has a nightmare. I started from nothing and worked hard to earn everything I had. But because of my conduct, I have lost all my businesses. I have lost my career. I lost the charter schools that I started, and I have destroyed my reputation and stained the reputation of those that worked for me. I lost my being present with my family. Between all of my losses and lessons, I can state for a fact that I will never be in another criminal courtroom again, and I do not believe any other person would do anything similar from fear of similar punishment. If you give me a chance, I would like the opportunity to share my story with people to prevent at least one person from making the mistake that I have. I can't change the past, but I can change the future. I know that God put me here to transform me. Since incarceration, I have gone through a spiritual reset. I'm on a journey that will take time and hard work. I'm proud to say I'm working harder than I ever have before. I'm committed to the journey of remaining a drug-free, non-violent, and peaceful person. I thank God that I'm stronger, wiser, cleaner, and sober. God makes no mistakes. I realize that this trial has received a tremendous amount of global press, and Your Honor may be inclined to make an example out of me. I would ask Your Honor to make me an example of what a person can do if afforded the second chance. If you allow me to go home to my family, I promise I will not let you down, and I will make you proud. Today I humbly ask for another chance to be a better father, another chance to be a better son, another chance to be a better leader in my community, and another chance to live a better life. I'm writing this not to gain any sympathy or pity. This experience is simply the truth of my existence and has changed my life forever, and I will never commit a crime again. Thank you for your time and consideration. Sean Combs. I know there's probably some folks that are going to be like, Henny, you're a bitch after I say this. And I don't care. I don't care. You know how they say think before you speak? That's what I was doing. I was taking a moment to think before I spoke. Now, that's a very well written letter. Diddy wrote a very beautiful letter. However, I'm not buying it. Because in that letter, not one time did he cop to what he did. I did not hear an apology to Cassie. I didn't hear an apology to Jane. I didn't even hear an apology to the family that he spoke highly of. I didn't hear an apology to his business colleagues. I didn't hear an apology to any of the employees that were with him. I didn't hear remorse for anything that he did. What I hear is regret that he ended up locked up and incarcerated. What I heard was him praising what he has done in that jail system by creating a program that put him front and center and made him the center of attention. I heard him say that he brought gangs together and created peace within his jail cells, only for him to turn around and talk about how he's at risk of being stabbed. Now, I understand that the risk to be stabbed or shanked is always there, but you've made yourself the victim even in this letter. I don't see accountability for anything that he did. I don't see ownership for the hurt and the pain that he has caused people, the trauma that anyone has to live through. I didn't see any of that or hear any of that in that letter. What I heard was self-gratification, pleading with the judge to give him a second chance at his life because of what he's done to his life and his family. What about the family of Cassie? What about the family of Jane? What about the family of Gina, even though Gina is saying she's not a victim? What about the family of Capricorn Clark? What about the family of all of those people who worked for you that had to hear the type of person that they had to work for? What about all of the employees, since you claim you've lost businesses? What about all of the employees who are now unemployed or they suffer reputable harm because they worked for you? And you had to listen in trial about how all of these employees were complacent to Diddy's demands, including but not limited to copping drugs, including but not limited to setting up freak-off rooms, including but not limited to cleaning up behind the freak-offs. I didn't hear anything from him that said, I'm sorry.